Hello and welcome to Mildenhall Stadium for the in-car race UK Modifieds, and here is the grid for the first heat. On the front row we've got Ben White and Alan Scuthern. Second row Ken Edwards and Sean Loggin. Third row is Sean Tolton and Brent Russell. On row 4 Colin Bunyard and Dave Tomlinson, and on the fifth row Jason Tidmarsh and Dan Bunyard. So a 10-car grid for the first of 3 races today at Mildenhall Stadium for the UK Modified cars. 10 laps for the 2 heats that will take place before the longer 12 lap final. So Ben White will lead the cars off on their green flag lap. Over alongside him Alan Scuthern, Ken Edwards there in 43, third place, and Sean Loggin in P4. You see that 91, that's Sean Tolton who starts in 5th place. The 10 lap race about to get underway, and away they go. And see here at Mildenhall it's pretty dicey conditions on the shale surface, and a big slide there from 70. Brent Russell would struggling there, 306, that's Colin Bunyard. So the driver's up to speed for the first time to test the conditions. It's a pretty rutty surface we've got today, and already one of the cars coming to a halt there. That was Colin Bunyard, I think. And a big challenge there into turn 2 from 53. That's Dan Bunyard trying to gain a position. He's side by side across the line and going through to pass the 45 Alan Scuthern, and Scuthern's going to lose a second position there to Brent Russell, and following him through quite possibly is Dave Tomlinson. So losing positions there is Scuthern. There's Dan Bunyard up on the inside line just ahead of him. Brent Russell trying to gain a position, trying to pass Ken Edwards there for his second position as they go back past the stands. Start what is lap 5 of this race, so halfway through it now, and they've got a great battle here into turn 2, passing that stricken car of Bunyard, and up the inside trying to grab the lead of the race is Ken Edwards as he turns into turn 1. They start lap 6, is up the inside of the pole man Ben White, but trying to pass them both is the 53 of Dan Bunyard, but he spins and clips the tyres there, so he comes to a halt just in a similar place to what the car of Colin Bunyard has been stopped for the race. On out wide there, that's Brent Russell just clipping the barriers on the outside of the circuit. He actually comes to a halt, spinning into that stationary car. Side by side action there on the outside. Ken Edwards about to lose second position now to Jace Tidmarsh, but up front holding on is Ben White despite coming under pressure a lap or so ago. Couple of laps to go now then, and it is White, Tomlinson, Edwards, Loggin and Scuthern the top 5, but 885 there. Dave Tomlinson grabs the lead in the final stages of this race up the inside of Ben White, and White put offline there, losing time immediately and being closed in by Ken Edwards. So round the corner for the final time, and it is going to be Tomlinson that takes the victory here, the first of 3 races for the UK modified cut-offs here at Mildenhall in Suffolk. Second place Ben White does hold on to, and in third position Ken Edwards. In 4th place across the line has come the 26 of Sean Loggin, and in 5th position Alan Scuthern. Let's just give those results to you once again. It was 885 Dave Tomlinson that won from 85 Ben White, 43 Ken Edwards third, 4th was 26 Sean Loggin, 5th 45 Alan Scuthern, 6th was number 70 Brent Russell, 7th was number 91 Sean Tolton, 8th number 53 Dan Bunyard, 9th 22 Jason Tidmarsh, and Colin Bunyard 306 coming to a halt early on, completing the 10 runners. So the second of our heats for the UK modified class here at Mildenhall about to get underway, and it will be Ben White going off from pole position once again for Alan Scuthern alongside Ken Edwards, he will start in 3rd position with Sean Loggin alongside in P4. Sean Tolton starts 5th with Brent Russell 6th. Colin Bunyard is 7th. Dave Tomlinson, the winner of the earlier race right at the end, will start 8th. Jason Titmarsh starts 9th, and Dan Bunyard completes the 10 runners we have today. So they will do this half lap formation lap before getting into the 10 lap race. We saw plenty of action in that early one. Ben White almost holding on to the end, so we'll see if he can hold on for that extra lap this time by, as the cars head off onto that formation lap then ahead of the 10 lapper. These UK modified cars that have a fabricated tubular chassis with a 4-cylinder motorcycle engine strapped to the back, a sequential gearbox too, so a real racing machine. They've got about 1 litre plus 1000cc plus engines, motorcycle engines, so lots of power, and they're very quick indeed around this short oval at Mildenhall, and away they go then. And conditions just continue to get more tricky here, so it's important to keep on the right line, and already losing out there Alan Scufford on the outside line. There's 53, that's Dan Bunyard, who was going well early but spun right there where Sean Loggin has come to a halt then on the entry to turn 2. So Loggin comes to a halt as the car's onto the 2nd lap of the race and pushing on there. 53, Dan Bunyard bouncing over the ruts, over the bumps, car bouncing from one bump to the other, but really pushing on he is. There's 43 then, Ken Edwards, who has taken the lead of the race. So Edwards goes through ahead of Ben White, who led the majority of the earlier race, but is already down into 2nd position. Big moment there, that's 45, Alan Scuffern, and diving up the inside and gaining the place is the car of the race 1 winner, Dave Tomlinson, 885, so watch out for him. There's 45, that's Alan Scuffern, who's there in 5th position, but Dan Bunyard is trying to gain a position off of him. Up the inside line he goes and goes through, so Bunyard gains a place up into P5. There's the 2nd place car then, that is Ben White, but he's starting to come under pressure now from Brent Russell in the number 70 machine as we reach the halfway stage of this race. Very short, sharp races for the modified class. There's 885 then, race 1 winner Dave Tomlinson. He's up to 4th now, he's challenging White, who's been passed by Russell on the most recent of laps, and now Tomlinson goes through too. So Dave Tomlinson up to 3rd ahead of Ben White. There's 70 struggling, that's Brent Russell, who did just get into 2nd place, but he's going to come under pressure now therefore from Dave Tomlinson. But Edwards, he's there, the leader, and he's been caught too, and they're in traffic with just a couple of laps to go. Sean Loggin, who spun early on, and that's really held up the leader, and losing out therefore is Ken Edwards. He's lost both positions, I think, so Russell and Tomlinson go through. We've got 2 laps to go here at Mildenhall in the 2nd of our heats, and really getting held up in the traffic there for Ken Edwards. It's cost him the lead of this race, and going through then number 70, Brent Russell, will start the final lap of the race, being chased by race 1 winner Dave Tomlinson. And then you've got the battle on behind as Ken Edwards tries to hold on ahead of Ben White, but into the final corner for the final lap of this race. And a really strong race this has been from Brent Russell to take the victory. So race number 2 here at Mildenhall for the UK Modified does go to Brent Russell, holding on ahead of Dave Tomlinson, who's had a 1st and 2nd, so he's been the most successful driver over the course of the 2 heats. Then in 3rd position with the car of Ken Edwards, who so nearly was able to take the victory there, just got caught up in the traffic and put him offline with just a couple of laps to go. So he only managed 3rd behind Brent Russell and Dave Tomlinson. In 4th place was Ben White, who started from pole. In 5th was Dan Bunyard. In 6th was Alan Scuffern. 7th Sean Tolton. 8th was Colin Bunyard. 9th was the early spinner, which was Sean Loggin, and completed the runners in 10th position was Jace Tidmarsh. So we're ready for our final race of the day for the UK Modifieds, and it'll be Ben White once again then starting from pole position with Alan Scuffern alongside him. On the 2nd row we've got Ken Edwards and Sean Loggin. On the 3rd row Sean Tolton and Dave Tomlinson. On the 4th row are winners. Winner from Heat 2 there, Brent Russell, alongside him Dan Bunyard, and then Josh Barrett taking up the final slot. So Russell and Tomlinson then together on the grid ahead of this final race, and of course they were the two winners in the earlier races, but the faster guys, as we tend to see in over racing, starting towards the back and moving their way through. They're the two to watch then in this final. It's a longer race, 12 laps and under the floodlights here in Suffolk. So 2 further laps give even more time for the faster guys to work their way through. We've seen good efforts though from Ben White in that first race of the day to go well from the front, and Ken Edwards too doing a good job in the second of the heats. So 12 laps of racing gets underway then as the cars accelerate down into turn 1. The inside line working well for White, but then he catches a bump and loses the momentum. There's a real battling going on in the mid pack as they come to the end of lap 1. Scuffern there running a bit wide, but he holds on to second position, I think, on the outside line. I think he's lost a couple of positions now into lap 2 as they all dive up the inside of him. A bit of contact there as Dan Bunyard makes his way through on the inside line, and certainly losing out was 45 Alan Scuffern, but it is Ben White that lead already. Up to second comes Ken Edwards. In third position is Scuffern, I think, still, and the 9 runners for this final race of the day. In fact, coming up to third position there, coming up on the graphic, is Brent Russell. Yes, Scuffern has dropped back. There is 26 on the inside line. That is Sean Loggin, who we saw spin earlier on in the day. Out wide there, 53. Dan Bunyard bouncing over the ruts and trying to keep much momentum up on the outside line. 43, Ken Edwards now losing positions as the first guys work their way up the inside and being pretty aggressive there with 885 Dave Tomlinson, who won the first race of the day, and pushing on the outside Dan Bunyard. We haven't seen the greatest of results from him for the first 2 races, but he's looking quick in this final. Sean Tolton there gained the position around the outside of Alan Scuffern to go up into the 6th position, I think. Again using that outside line, Dan Bunyard to gain a position, this time passing Brett Russell, and that puts him up a place, and he continues to go on that high wide line, but I think that's just cost him a bit of momentum initially, but then he accelerates off the corner really well and he grabs the race lead. A fantastic move then from the number 53 car of Dan Bunyard to take the lead off the race onto lap 8 of the 12 we've got this time round. In second position appears to be Brent Russell, and third for Ben White. So and White loses out though, so Tomlinson comes up into P3, so watch out for him. He was Heat 1 winner. And of course the Heat 2 winner was Brent Russell, who has a moment there and spins, so he's going to lose some position. Sorry, it was Ken Edwards, wasn't it? Who is much further down in 5th position. So he's struggling. Brent Russell, who was doing well early on in Heat 2, just had a moment there, so he's dropped back in car 70. There's 91 on the outside line. That's Sean Tolton, who is currently batting away there with Sean Loggin for 6th position, and Loggin on the inside line gains that position into the final stages of this motor race. Trying to fight back on the outside line. There is 91 Tolton. I think he might well have the position back. But onto the final lap already for the leaders, and a mistake there from 885 Dave Tomlinson, so he spins out right at the end of the race. But the final here, we can make 3 different winners in the UK modified class at Mildenhall. It looks to be Dan Bunyard, so he takes the flag in car number 53. So Bunyard takes the victory, really using the outside line throughout the course of that race, really being able to get good momentum off the corners, and he looks delighted with that, unsurprisingly. In second place, Ben White. It's been a good run from him. That's the second top 3 finish we've seen from Ben White. In third position was Brent Russell after that half spin towards the end. Ken Edwards, he only managed 4th. Sean Tolton was 5th. 6th was Sean Loggin. 7th was Dave Tomlinson after spinning out. He was our Heat 1 winner. In 8th place was Alan Scuffern. And 9th position, Jace Tidmarsh, to complete the run-in for the UK modified class here from in-car race at Mildenhall Stadium.